Hi guys, so this is just a little lesson that we're going to do. This is a song that I've just always called it the G Flavour song. This is a song that I usually start off with all of my students, just because I think it's an excellent way to start off with the concept of chords. It's a good way to just start off something. I think it's a really great way to start on the guitar, because as soon as you pick up the guitar, you kind of want to, you look at people playing, guitar on TV or whatever, and, they're not playing, they're not so much doing that, they're playing chords, or whatever, they're playing something. So I think this is a nice little way just to start off. Helps get your fingering down, helps get, just the concept of chords kind of going. So we're going to dive right in. So, first of all, when it comes to the strumming pattern, don't worry about it too much for now. We're really wanting to focus on this hand right here. You can do anything right here. I was just doing downward strums every now and then, doing 4 with 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, but nice and slow. You don't even need to do that. You can speed it up. If you're a little bit more advanced, whatever. It's not a big deal. But anyways, main thing is this hand right here. So we're going to start off with our chords. We're going to move it a little bit. So we're going to have 4 chords that we're going to be using through this entire song. And the thing that's nice, and the reason why I call it this song the G Flavour song, is because all the chords that we're going to be using are the only one that's actually like a real, solid major chord is our first chord, which is a G. That's the only one. The rest of them are all going to be sort of like variants of the chord, of the main chord that they're based off of. So, for example, this one, that's not an E minor sounds like that. We're not playing an E minor. We're going to be playing G. We're going to be playing E minor 7. That's going to be our second chord. We're not going to be playing a C. We're going to be playing it from E minor 7. We're going to move to C add 9. And then after that, we're not going to move, that's the third chord, is C add 9. And the fourth chord, it's not going to be D, it's going to be D suspended. So C add 9 to D suspended, and back to G. And all these things, because if you've noticed, the only 2 fingers that are actually going to be moving is our index and our middle. Our ring and our pinky are going to be planted the entire song, the entire time, on the 3rd fret, our pinky on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, and our ring finger here on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. It's going to be planted there the whole time. They're just hanging out. They're totally just hanging out the whole time. So, you got those guys there, and the reason I call it G Flavour is just because all those chords sort of, because these guys are planted there, they all sort of have that element of G within them all, and that, well, they're all in the same key, right? And because you're playing that, it sort of is as if the G chord is kind of a little bit in all of them, and so that's why I call it the G Flavour song. And it's kind of a catchy little name, so whatever, it helps people remember it. So anyways, I say let's get started. So we'll start off with that G. So remember, we have our pinky planted on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, and our ring planted on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Beautiful. Remember, when we want to push down hard on those things, we want to support ourselves with the back of our, our hand kind of right here, support ourselves, and actually more so right here. We're going to kind of want to have the support right back there while we push against, and we're going to bring our middle finger up to the 3rd fret of the 6th string. Should sound like that. Push hard, and the index is going to be on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. Remember, your finger should be like, I usually say, like, kind of like spiders. Spiders, when they put their fingers, when they walk around, they don't walk around like this. They always walk around like they don't, their fingers aren't flat like this when they're up against the, when they walk around, they're usually like this. They walk around like this, spiders. So, spider fingers, boom, like that, and because we want to push hard, imagine spider fingers, but with punching gloves on them. Pow, 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 pow. Want to punch right on the tips and push right on the tips. It might hurt a little bit right now, just if you're starting out. That's okay. That just comes with as you build up the callus, right? So one thing I would say is to really try and practice this every day or every second day or something like that, just to build up the callus in your fingertips, just to build that up. And it may be a little bit painful at first, but eventually it'll build up the callus and you'll be good. You'll be just fine. You'll be fine and dandy, ready to rock and roll. So, we got that G. Perfect. Now from the G, we're going to move to E minor 7. 2, 3, 4. And to E minor 7, what we're going to do is we're going to, the only thing that's changing, remember, pinky, ring, stay there the whole time. All we're going to do is we're going to slide over our index just slightly. It's going to stay on the same fret though. It's going to still stay on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. We're just moving it over just a little bit to give room, because we're going to move our middle finger down onto the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Right, so index, it's right underneath the index. And we're going to play all 6 strings. G, we're playing all 6 strings. E minor 7, we're playing all 6 strings. That's E minor 7. Excuse me. And then after that, we're going to move to C add 9. C add 9, the trick I use in my head is it's like a G, so if we went back to our G, right, middle on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, and index on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. The C add 9 is just like that, except we move each finger down one. So this guy's going to move down to the 3rd fret of the 5th string, and this guy, index, is going to move down to the 2nd string, or sorry, 2nd fret of the 4th string. And from E minor 7, that's going to look like this. You're going to want to put your index down onto the fret where the middle finger is, and the middle finger, you're going to move them up, slide over one. Or, well, you know, move them down, I guess, technically, because you're moving down to a lower string, but you get what I mean. So, boom. So, middle finger, 3rd fret of the 5th string, index, 2nd fret of the 4th string. And you're only going to want to play the 5 strings. You're not going to want to play the low 6. The low E, you're not going to want to play that. You're just going to want to play the 5. Just like that. And then from C add 9, so far we have G, then we have E minor 7, then we have C add 9, where we're only going to play 5 strings. And it's like G, but we just move those 2 fingers down. It's the same position, we just boop, move it down like that. And then we have D suspended, or I call it easy D in this case, because it's the easiest one. All you got to do, middle finger, take him off. He gets a break. He gets to hang out. Index, you're going to want to move him down you're going to want to move him down, or like technically he's moving in terms of like, you know, the tone of the string, he's moving up, it's a higher note, but in terms of where you're actually putting your finger, you're just moving him down right here to from the 2nd fret on the 4th string to the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. And you're only going to want to play the 4 strings right here. You're not going to want to play the low E or the low A, the 6th string or the 5th string. You just want to play the 4 right here, starting with your D string, your D bass. You're going to want to go 4. The 4 strings like that, and there you go, and that's D suspended or easy D. And then from there, you're going to reach up with your middle finger. Remember spider fingers with punching gloves, always remember that. Push hard. Make sure that your fingers aren't blocking out any of the other strings. They're spider fingers. They're not being flat and hitting any other strings. They're just touching their own string, letting everything else ring out. And you're going to want to reach over and with the middle, and then the index is right beside on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and bam, you're right back to G. So all together, that's going to sound 1, 2, 3, 4, E minor 7, 2, 3, 4, C add 9, 2, 3, 4, and D suspended, or easy D. 4 back to G. And that's exactly it. And that's a really nice song just to kind of practice with chords. So I'm going to leave it at that for today. And perfect. Yeah, no, thank you very much. Take care. Bye.